I would like for us to. I mean, I don't know if we all agree that there is a God. If you don't agree, it's okay. Don't even touch it. Don't touch it. Let it be. Yeah.
But has to be a God. In quotes. That's the way I say it.
That's the way you say it.
I mean, a being that is more intelligent
now,
it might be aliens. I mean.
Okay, so you believe in aliens?
No, I believe that there has to be something.
Okay,
that is
so this is what I'm going to do. I think. You believe in biology. You believe in science.
Biology and logic.
I believe that there is a God, and I believe in it more because of what Christianity does for people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I see what the Catholic Church has done in society. That's why I'm Catholic. Yeah.
Well, Catholic is good. If I was going to go to church, I would go to Catholic
There's
church.
Structure, there's a hierarchy. You can't just wake up one day and crown yourself bishop.
Yeah,
I mean, this Pentecostal people.
Talking about conspiracy.
Okay, I didn't say that, but
but you see, I would even buy more into that than I would buy into how anybody is born by nature royal. How is it the Queen Mother?
It's the lottery of life.
It's a lottery of life.
That was born in.
Is the lottery?
This morning.
Do you know that they have everything in life has gone through a form of readjusting, evolution, recorrecting, rearranging, except that throne. Topic for another day, by the way.
No, I think that's wrong, because in England, if you go back 300 years, you would see the wars. You know, it's not as I always say. I'll say, the conquest. You know, you had
of course.
Yes,
but that was. I mean, even in Africa, for example, I'm sure we had kings and queens. Yeah, and in the Americas, they had kings and queens, and in Asia, they had kings and queens. Democracy has brought about socialism, communism has brought about a readjusting of society, except the tampering of that throne, and then the Spanish throne as well. I'm just saying that in history,
has changed because the power, the power has actually been extremely diluted. So
remember that your interpretation.
The Queen's family has only been around since.
Wait now.
Since the end of the 19th century.
Bless your souls now. But you know that the much that you would agree is dilution of power or separation of power is the much that you've been told. I was reading the other day that the Queen's estate has grown by, in fact 2 days ago, has grown by a certain $1 billion something.
Because that's a business organization.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like that's what I'm saying.
English people haven't gotten rid of the crown.
No, they will. In another couple of.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That it's as though the world has come to agree that one is born royal.
Yeah, we have come to agree that.
It's not just it's cultural, because if in the north, for instance, there's a particular prayer in the north. It goes, when you interpret it from Hausa to English, it says, "God bless you. May God bless you to bless me." Now, in the north, right here in Nigeria, some people believe that you are born royal. That's the way you are, and you have been put in that position so you can help me that I have been born poor and I'm going to ever remain poor.
Okay.
So they do not even make any efforts to try and tamper with the class.
So whose problem is that now? Social construct again, which is something I'd like for us to look at. Whose problem is it that one would think one is born royal, the other is born a pauper?
It's society. It's just the way it has been for
so it's not
years.
so when we say society, is it the truth?
Well, no.
Yeah, of course it's not the truth.
The truth is subjective and relative.
I was going to say that truth is relative.
The culture. Like, what is true to me as a Yoruba person, if I want to be very, should I say, take it down to Ifa levels.
Yeah.
Now, what is true according to Ifa is not true according to, Amadioha.
Yeah.
So, but if we want to look at it critically, you would see that there are certain overlaps that you can now just sit down and say, because we think this is happening this way and they think this is happening this way, and it seems to sound alike. There's probably some truth in there. You understand? Like we have Shango.
So basically it's a construct, the truth we've put in.
So that means if it's the truth we have put in, is it truth? Because again, Or I think I have to tell you how royal I am long enough for you to just begin to see me that way. But that don't necessarily make it the truth. I've just been able to manipulate your mind long enough for you to begin to see my.
But then where does a queen get her power from? Yeah. Okay. Let's royalty. Where does royalty get their power from? Yeah.
From the people. If the people do not recognize royalty as royalty,
exactly,
they
kick them out.
But then again, we use religion because we say the queen is ordained by God as our queen. You know.
Yeah.
We say the queen is ordained, so we use religion. Yeah. So the people believe in that religion, and that religion has come to ensure that royalty stays as royalty.
So we can agree on control.
Yeah,
it is control.
But the good thing about social construct and why, for me, I don't really have a problem is because it evolves. What was true 100 years ago is not true today. So just how you were saying that, you have the truth being relative, which is fantastic. It's also dynamic, because at some point, people believe that, there is nothing wrong with me owning slaves. I have a slave. There's no big deal. But over time, that changed, and then now it's okay. If you own a slave, it is not right. So that's
okay. But can we also say the fact that you own a slave today is not right is also another social construct?
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I said it's dynamic. It changes.
So there is
man responsible. Can you use 2015 standards to judge somebody that sold slaves in the 17th century?
Of course not. I was having dinner with a couple of friends yesterday, and then one of them, fantastic history I learned yesterday. So one of them was from Calabar, that's Cross River. She's Efik, and then the other person is Ibibio from Akwa Ibom. So I just said, oh, you guys speak the same language, right? You guys are together. You guys are brothers. They're like, no. And then the girl she's the one from Efik. She said, oh, you know what? Actually, we Efik people, because they were living by the coastal lines, they were controlling the ports, so they were richer than the rest of the clan, and then they were now their slave masters. So they were actually selling them. Now, to differentiate between the Bibios and the Efik, because they were speaking the same language, they now started tweaking the languages. So now, if you hear an Efik person speak, so an Efik person will understand an Ibibio person, but it's not the same language. And then the only reason they actually constructed that differential in language is just to be able to say, oh, you know what, you guys are the slaves, and then we guys are the slave master. And then they actually made me understand that the Efik, they're actually like this they're really small. They're like maybe like 300,000 right now. But because they actually they control the coastal lands then, so most of them are, super rich, and then that's the way they have grown and maintained the tribe. That's it. I mean, it was interesting.
I think that just goes across every tribe, because we can say the same thing about Yoruba people.
Yeah.
Now the old Odudua, whatnot, he had 7 sons, they went around and set up the old kingdoms and whatnot. Basically, these guys had cash.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily cash as
whatever
monetary,
legal tender.
but you understand, they had maybe cows, they had land, they had ownership of whatever, and that gave them power.
And which is still luxury of life, because the only reason why the Efik people were by the coastlines, I mean, it just happened that they were there, and then when the white man came, they were the first people to start interacting with him. And then so one thing is that before that dress went around, there's this show I was watching. I can't remember the name, but it's a science show. They just tell you about different things about the planet.
It's hard to even think you're trying to rationalize this whole dress thing. Like, I wish I could find psychologists who would just tell us that, see, you all, we just wanted to figure out how your minds work.
It was just a light thing. It was a light thing.
You think it light. It didn't come from you, honey, because you must understand that. Like, let me give you a good example. Okay. America passed the bill, gay rights, blah, 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 blah. And they gave us a certain rainbow color as their, new identity. Symbolism. Love wins and all that jazz. And quite a number of people around the world changed their DPs to a face superimposed with the rainbow shades. And psychologists came out 3 days later and said that they did a research on our psyche and realized that everybody who changed their picture or their DPs from what it was, whatever it was, to the superimposition of the, they figured out that there is a huge mass control figured it was a huge mass.
It was a huge control.
Mass control. Like figured this came from psychologists. The same way I also was on Time magazine and I read that selfies has been linked with narcissism, and that narcissistic people are self-indulgent to a point of extremism. So that you look at it and you call it free time, click, selfie, upload, and that's what you're doing, and you're not paying attention to what is happening to you and with you. So as this discussion goes on, I'd like to pick up a quote from a book. I would not say the name of the book because I would not recommend it to anybody.
Is it inherently human
Human
or
for
subject
us
to
to-
cultures? Because the North Americans, the North Indians, yeah, some tribes, of course, they warred against each other, and there's no one homogeneous Native American tribe, but there's some that never owned property, and they thought everything belonged to
Nature.
and they didn't have this competition with. So the tribalism would probably not have existed.
Okay.
Don't we think as human beings? Don't we think as human beings anyway? We like to divide.
I
Yeah,
feel that. I feel
You
that
feel
one of
that?
the. I feel like one of the effects of living in a society are these divisions, because you know, if you're coming together as a society and say you want to live as organized people, you have to have, there has to be a structure.
Do you realize
and
that
it just means that some people will be under the bus and then some people will be on top. That's the way it was. So some people have to surrender their rights, like Thomas Hobbes says when he's social contract theory. That just says that, you know, for us to live together as one, certain people have to surrender their rights to certain people and say, oh, you know what?
Isn't it ridiculous that we have moved from? But look at that. Isn't it ridiculous we have moved from communism to whatever it is that we have now? We used to live as a group of people together sharing the same values, that now we've been evolutionalized to a point where
so many. I mean, you know, as we increase.
I'm telling you, no, you see, just look at it.
The way we're going, we need to slow down.
It's ridiculous. We're losing. You said it. Some people have to give up their rights for what? For what reason? What's the justification?
They surrender their rights to people, and then those people actually, you know, have the power.
So can you see that slavery is still ongoing?
No. It's just like so we can live in an organized society, because like for instance, once I take a job, I have surrendered certain rights to my boss.
Absolutely.
So certain things he says to me, I have to, because for everything to be organized, so anything he says to me, I have to obey. So that's basically what it is.
Okay, now let's weave this together. Identity, of course, a key element of subjective reality, and like all subjective reality, stands in a dialectical relationship with society. Identity is formed by social processes. Once crystallized, it is maintained, modified, or even reshaped by social relations. The social processes involved in both the formation and the maintenance of identity are determined by the social structure. Conversely, the identities produced by the interplay of organisms, individual consciousness, and social structure react upon the given social structure, maintaining it, modifying it, or even reshaping it. Societies have histories in the course of which specific identities emerge. These histories are, however, made by men with specific identities. Did you get that? By the way, I'm reading off the book, The Social Construct of Reality, written in 1966. Published 1966, Peter Berger and Thomas Luckman. So here we go. I mean, just look at that. So that if I am a leader, the very fact that I have power over you, and whatever it is I do with you and to you or by you, I am in control of whatever projections that could be in play 5, 10, 6 years from now. So that, for example, if you look at our
Not necessarily. And it's not total.
Okay.
I mean, in democracies doesn't apply.
Okay.
It doesn't.
No. Wait, look at our reality. More than half the Nigerian population are American, British in thinking or in behavior.
You know what? There won't be any leadership if the people that the followers do not give.
I'm telling you now.
Do not give the power for leadership. Leadership cannot exist in a vacuum. I cannot be a leader if I do not have followers.
Good.
And then for me to have followers, I would not have followers that are unwilling.
Yeah.
So that's the same.
I don't disagree. I do not disagree
Yes.
with you. Remember, we're trying to look at
I
social.
can't just say I'm a leader and then nobody is following me, or they are following me and then they're following me against their own will. Because most times people actually have to want to follow you for you to be a leader.
I don't disagree with you. I'm saying that our
But it
social.
doesn't apply in the monarchies, the absolute monarchies. In Brunei, in the Gulf countries,
Yeah.
the sheikhs. Yes.
Now,
how did the sheikhs get their power from the beginning? Where did they get their power from? Where did the power originate from?
They got their power from the peasants now. Yeah.
Not necessarily. You know,
So peasant woke up and said,
the Arab system.
I'm royal, and I guess that's how.
yeah.
That's how
And then
it
some people
started.
actually
I'm better than
considered the
these
fact that
people.
fine, you know what, this guy may be better than us, maybe because he was stronger or because he could gather more food or something.
That's
People
the way
are,
it works.
people will agree.
It was more of you use your skill to express dominance.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, it could be your skill at fighting.
He
it
must
could be
have
your
had to.
skill
Yeah, but
at-
then isn't that the story of the world
Egalitarian
though?
society.
Yeah, but that's the story of the
No,
world though.
equality-
Everywhere it has
equality-
been whoever has the biggest guns.
Equality
That is in charge. That is happening today.
equality
America
is
has
a
the
myth.
biggest guns.
Okay.
Quality.
Yeah. Now look, this is some excerpt from Pike. Don't read Pike, please. Don't.
All these sociologists that you keep referring to.
Now, but you see, unfortunately, they have structured the society you live in. Whether you call them sociologists, devil worshippers, churchgoers, these are people who have found themselves to be the humans with identity, according to Thomas and Peter, and their identities have shaped societies. Now, here, Pike is saying that the citizens copy the state. Just look at it.
Yeah.
The citizens copy the state. So if we have a corrupt leader, for example, that's
trickles
like,
down.
I'm telling you.
Bola Tinubu's leadership model is based on Awolowo's leadership model. It is, yeah. Awolowo taught us how to steal, literally. He did. Yeah, and they've done it.
You know, the first time I met you, I just felt like, hi.
No, like really.
No, but he did though. He did. These guys were siphoning the government when they were guilty of corruption, they were guilty of nepotism, they were guilty of everything in their time.
Yeah.
And what we've done, what our political system seems to have done over the years, is just modified that system, modified.
So I was even going to ask the question of modification. Has it been modified? Are you guys better at it now?
What he has excelled.
We guys, no.
Okay. Are we better? I meant like, are we better at stealing now? Do we?
Oh, yeah, we are now. We even do it.
What he
Yeah.
has shown.
Now we're in suits, and we have like expensive
Now we
perfumes.
just deal with
We speak the truth.
And then society
Unity.
celebrates you. You get a party.
Yeah.
You get a
Yeah.
chief dance title. You're recognized.
It's so funny because like in Nigeria it's ridiculous. So this guy, I wouldn't mention his name, the politician that all of us know has actually been in and out of the EFCC's net, and then he comes for a wedding, and then people just oh my goodness, he's here, and I was like, but this guy is stealing your money, right? And you are aware, but
We
you
celebrate
could see,
But we celebrate
that's
these
what I'm
people.
saying. Yeah, we celebrate these people. I mean, we do not name and shame.
They give
you know,
them
and
a
then
front
some
row
of-
seat in
the funny
church.
thing is, the funny thing is, some of these people, I'm not ashamed to say, but I went to school with some of their kids. Some of their kids are my friends, and then I'm tempted every time to say, but you cannot be talking about Nigeria getting better. For goodness sake, you can only afford XYZ school because your father stole the money. I mean, I would tell them, and I would say,
And then it's sad because there are lots of hardworking Nigerians.
Yeah.
Hardworking, and I think they're the majority
Okay.
that work really hard to get by to send their kids to school, and the system doesn't work for them.
It doesn't work
What
for
do they
them.
gain from being
Okay.
What
upright
my
citizens?
parents always told me one thing. They're saying, okay, fine, you know what, we're gonna try and ensure that you go to good schools, but the truth is we do not have money, we're not thieves. So when you see your friends come in SUVs and all of that, do not be angry, just go to school and just come back. My parents made me understand that from an early stage, so I was
Okay.
never intimidated.
In reference to what you made mention of a few minutes ago, I just found something from the same book, Thomas and Peter. If anyone is mindful of this dialectic, now remember that from what I read earlier, which is how identities get to shape societies, he says if anyone is mindful of this dialectic, one can avoid the misleading notion of collective identities. without having recourse to the uniqueness of individual existence. So I think that our societies are shaped in a way, I'm trying to bring this all together because we're speaking about different ways by which our social construct has been invaded.